Hello everyone, thanks for pressing play. Brian is my name. In this video we're going to have a look at this car here. This is a Honda CRV and this is what's called a 2-litre and this is the MMD Hybrid version. Anyway, in this video we're going to have a look around all the features that are on the outside of the car, and we're going to go for a drive in the car, and then we're going to have a look at some of the features that are on the inside of the car as well. And this particular car has a couple of nice little things that makes it different to the standard models. And hopefully by the end of the video you will know all about this version of the Honda CRV. Just before we get into it, I just want to explain who we are. We are Fitzpatrick's Garage, a Honda dealer and a dealer for many other brands, and we're a family-run business in operation for almost 70 years. Brian's my name. If there's any information you want on this particular car, call, text, WhatsApp 086 843 1945. This is a really nice car and I'd be happy to talk to you about the car itself, obviously, or trading in your car, or scrapping a car, or finance, or whatever it is that you want to know about a car or a car deal. Anyway, because this is the hybrid version and this car is all about driving, I think the first place we're going to start is by going for a drive. So get that key, put it in your pocket, and you walk up to the door handle, put your hand in, and it automatically recognises that your hand is there and releases the door lock to allow you to enter the car. One of the first things I always remember on these cars is once you put the safety belt on, it tightens in, and I always used to find that on really upmarket cars. And because there's keyless entry, it's also got push button start. Once you start the car, then you get a nice startup sequence on the digital clock, and the gear stick is kind of cool because there is none, because you got park, you got reverse, you got neutral, and you got drive, all from this button set up down through here. So as you coast away in a situation like this, you can see the battery is actually driving us along at the moment, and that's the whole thing we're going to see as we're driving along. We're going to keep rotating between battery and petrol engine, and a combination of the both as well. The car is really quiet, so when you get onto the road like this, drift up the road, it's just nice and quiet and relaxed to drive. Great visibility around the place, but you'd expect that because, you know, it's a big SUV, it's high off the ground, big windscreen, big wing mirrors, but just a nice place to travel in. And as you can see, it's just a nice quiet cabin. And I have noticed on these CRVs, compared to the older model, these are really quiet inside, and they have nice cancellation technology in them as well. And they drive really nice as well. I suppose we've had CRVs here now for 7 or 8 years at the garage, and I love them to drive. You can throw them around on a back road and they just feel like a car to drive. So they're nimble even though they're big and comfortable when you're cruising as well. Another thing about these cars is as well, you have these paddles on the steering wheel. So what happens is when you pull up to a junction like this, on the left hand side I can start to toggle down on these paddles through here, and what it's doing is it's actually pulling power back from the turning wheels into the battery to recharge it. You don't have to do it, but it does help in charging the battery up quicker, but you don't actually have to do it at all. In terms of power then, this is a 2-litre engine. It has 184 horsepower, but it's a combination. So you got 145 horsepower from the engine and the remaining power comes from the battery, which is about 39 horsepower. In terms of acceleration, from 0 to 120 kilometers an hour joining the motorway, you can see both the engine and the battery are contributing to that acceleration. And it's quite good. It's about 8.8 seconds up to 100 kilometers an hour. From a comfort point of view then, you're going to have a cruise control function, so you can take your foot off the pedal and the car will maintain the speed for you when you set it. And in through here then you can see there's also adaptive cruise control, so you can tell the car how far you want it to stay behind the car in front, and it'll follow that car. Speed limiter, which means it'll limit your speed, but you can manually override it. So if you need to floor it, you'll hear a beep, but it's still warning you that you're exceeding the speed at that time. It's also got some lane safety function. So if you drift out of your lane, it'll warn you audibly and visually, but also a lane keep function. So if you watch when I aim towards the ditch basically, or aim towards the central median, the steering wheel is constantly fighting back to stay in the centre, which is, you know, it's kind of cool. If you're on a motorway and you're feeling a bit drowsy, it's a very, very good feature. One thing I always find, especially on these newer generation of hybrid cars, when you put your foot down, there's a lot of torque initially. So like a petrol, especially in a diesel car as well, they need to spool up and, you know, create power before you get a response when you put your foot down. Hybrid cars, because the battery assist, it's just very immediate kind of power in the car. It's quite nice actually when you're cruising along. Anyway, into the centre you got this big Honda Connect system. So the first tab is Garmin navigation, which is quite good, and you can update it for free as well. Second tab in here is going to be things like audio, so radio, and if you want to stream music via Bluetooth or USB. And back into the centre then there's other functionality in here, trip information and just general settings, and all that kind of information is in through there as well. And also you're going to have access to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you can use things like Google Maps and Siri and all sorts of stuff, and basically you can use all the functionality of your phone through the radio, which is quite cool. The heating controls, you got these hard buttons here for speeding up and slowing down the fan, front and rear windscreen demisters, and they also demist those big wing mirrors into the centre as well. And other than that then, you have a climate button which allows you to touch and swipe. So there's a couple of controls for climate. You can use hard buttons or you can use a screen, depending on what kind of person you are and what you prefer. From the point of view of driving dynamics, there is, well, do you know what, the car actually knows best. However, if you want, you can press this sport button here, you get a nice red dash, and you get a more aggressive throttle response pattern. The other thing then after that is you can have an eco button, which reduces how aggressive the cruise control, the air conditioner, and also the throttle response is. And what's really cool though on this, if you want to kind of show off, and I think that's why it's there, you can press the EV mode, and that means when you hit EV, you're not going to a full electric mode. So you can see I'm doing 74 kilometers an hour, and now we're in a complete electric mode. But you know what? The car knows best. I'd always let the car do its own thing, and it'll toggle between these modes in the most, I suppose, efficient possible manner. And one thing here is the beeping sound in the background is telling me I'm exceeding the last speed sign that the car recognised, which again is our intelligent speed limiter that we talked about earlier on. Pretty cool, it's just I hadn't had the chance to show you. A couple of other neat tricks then. There is a conversation mirror, which means you can open up the sunglasses holder and then you can half close it and you get a mirror that shines into the back of the car so you can see what the people are at. And the rear view mirror then is electrochromatic, which means it darkens itself. So basically when you look behind you can see the cars behind you, or you can see what's happening in the back seat. So like you're saying, hybrid. Here's the thing about this car. We've just driven out the road, we're coming back into the town area. Okay, I've sped this up a little bit, but we are going to be completely battery from the town limit back in as far as the garage, which means we are using no fuel whatsoever. So it's nice and quiet, but it's really, really efficient. And that's the whole thing about these hybrid cars. They actually have the chance to go into full electric modes. They have improved so much. And even on motorways, I've tested this, I can send you videos. You do go into electric modes at much higher speeds now than you ever did before. So a couple of things about reversing. If I go for reverse, you can see the left mirror tilts, so I can see what's exactly happening on the curb on the left hand side. And I've got a couple of different modes on the camera, so I can have a little radar, or I can have a full screen set up just to tell me what's behind me. And then the other thing as well is I'm going to have parking sensors as well. So the closer I get to the object behind me, obviously they're going to make noise when I'm getting close up to a wall like what's behind me right now. And there's also dynamic guidelines on the camera, which tell me what direction I'm going. And if I go forward or too close to an object, I'm also going to have other sensors which make a slightly different tone, tell me I've got a problem in front of me. And on the screen, on the radio, it's also showing where the object is. So in terms of the lighting in the car, everything's really upmarket looking because it's all LED these days. So the big indicator strip on the back, that's an LED setup. The tail lights on the car, they're nice shape, but they're LED as well, which is functional, and they look nice as well. And I just always associated LED lights with a nice upmarket look on a car. The headlights are no different. So if you look on the front, you have big LED dipped headlights. There is also a big LED daytime running lamp. And then after that as well, the full headlights, as well as the dipped headlights, as well as the indicators up front, they're all nice and LED as well. So again, it just looks really, really nice, I think. And even small things like, we'll say the way the front fog lights are down low on the bumper, again, it's all LED. So everything is LED. It looks really, really cool, I think. On the front of the car then, you can see parking sensors up here, which are the ones we talked about already. There's a nice big bull nose on the front of these. It's like the 07-08 shape in the CRV, and I always like that shape of a car. There's nice detail when you look at the car up close. Sometimes people don't really sit back and just examine what's on the front of a car in small little bits of detail, but that's why it kind of looks well at the front. So if you look at the front then, you got a big chrome grille that we talked about already, brushed aluminium down along the bottom, chrome surrounds around those fog lights as well. But you can see the way that's actually built into the headlight. Small detail, but it wraps in around just over that daytime running light. Looks really, really cool in my opinion. So brushed aluminium there, brushed aluminium down along the bottom with those side steps, and they are unique to this car, so they're not standard. There's the chrome we talked about, which is also matched by chrome around the windows and chrome around the bottom of the doors as well. So everything links up really, really nicely as well. So the other thing as well is it has these diamond cut wheels. So if you look along the chrome, it matches the chrome on the side and those black and silver wheels as well. And the same chrome theme continues on the back along the bottom of the window, which matches the other chrome we talked about already, and brushed aluminium matches, the brushed aluminium at the bottom of the bumper matches those side steps as well. This car's got privacy glass, not standard on this car normally, so we've added it. It's also got these really cool Honda Access side steps in a brushed aluminium. Again, not standard on this car, and just those two little features make it stand out compared to the other lifestyle models that are available at the moment. But there's also another really cool feature we're going to see in a while. Diamond cut wheels we talked about, so nice black and silver finish. They're shiny and reflective, so you can see the way at night time or under artificial light would shine on them. Looks really cool actually when they're turning as well, so it does. And there's black sections in the centre to hide the brake dust as well that can build up under a traditional style wheel. In terms of the boot then, it's really, really big, considering actually there's a battery underneath it. So you got lights on either side, which is quite nice. You got a big speaker in through here, which adds to that premium sound system that's in the car already. But it's quite a large boot. And it's got some other neat features, which means we can actually pull the handles on either side, and that then drops down both seats very easily, and you end up with a load area that's basically the same as a light commercial vehicle. So if you have anything awkward that you want to load in and out the back of this car, it's quite easily done. And that adjustment also allows a recline function as well, so that actually is really comfortable on a long journey. In terms of the back, there is veneer along the door, there is leather along the door, there's also piano black in around the electric window in the back, there is brushed aluminium along in around the door handles, tweeter in through here, and another speaker in through here as well. So like we're saying, there's very good sound in the car. It's a lovely interior. This is the other cool thing and unique in this car. Cosmic blue, normally with a black interior. This one's got beige. In terms of size in the back of these cars, well, CRV is always good in the back. So up over my head, got a good bit of space. And sitting behind myself at 6 foot, I got a good bit of space. Got kangaroo pockets in here and ventilation here. And the big thing is somebody's actually using their head. They put USB connectors in the back because let's face it, 12 volt outlets, they're grand. There's one in the boot already. You don't need it any more than back here. Kids or whoever's going to be sitting in the back of the car, they want USB. In terms of headrest, that's fine. There is ISOFIX back here, there's ISOFIX over here, and depending on the type of child seats, we are able to see people now getting 3 child seats across the back of these, but they're usually the child seats that will support a child up as far as 3 or 4 years of age. So if you got like say some kids that, if you had 3 kids that are in seats and they're all below the age of 3 or 4, it is actually very doable now. I can show you a child seat make that is compatible, and then down here there's a drinks holder with an armrest in through there as well. And I know I keep saying it, but beige interiors are savage. They're really, really nice. So when you're sitting in the back of this car, this is exactly what you're going to see around you. And like what we talked about on the outside, the rear windows, and you really just only get the, like rear windows being tinted are cool, they look well, and that's the only reason I was ever tinting windows in the back of a car. But now with a small child, you really actually, they do get affected by sunlight. So these are 85% tint on the back. And speaking to a guy that's into that kind of stuff, he said these are the ones that actually are effective when it comes to reducing the amount of sunlight that's getting into a child's eyes. Like what we said, keyless entry. Put your hand in, it clicks, that means it recognises your hand is there, so it opens the door. The little touchpad in here, so we touch that once, locks the doors. Hit the touchpad a second time, keep your finger on it for a little bit longer, and it also retracts things like the wing mirrors as well. And the key is smart in the way that it'll allow you to turn off the lights, and it'll also allow you to turn the lights back on, and it even allows you to let the windows up and down in the car as well, just using the remote function. Getting back into the car then, we have that lovely interior and the dash. Actually, there's quite a bit in that dash. It's totally digital. I'm going to run through that with you a little bit better when we get back up to that. Push buttons down here for starting. There is traction control, parking sensors front and rear, lane change warning, collision mitigation, and then the little sound if we want to turn it on while the battery's creeping. Door pocket here, piano black here, there is brushed aluminium here, veneer up here, beige leather here and dark leather there. And what's important there is that is the area that you are going to grab and dirty the most, so it's better in black. There's a speaker here and a tweeter up here, so the stereo is quite good. And then on the right hand side of the steering wheel, you have things like, we'll say, speed limiter and cruise control and all those kind of functions we were talking about earlier. And they're displayed up here in the top right hand corner of the dash. So when you turn it on, you can have a adaptive cruise control. And if you manipulate that from the steering wheel along through there, you can then tell the car just how far you want to stay behind the car in front, and also things like the lane keep warning. It'll tell you if that's activated as well. The wipers then are completely automated in through here, and we talked about already things like the headlights, they're completely automated as well, and they dip when you meet traffic, and they're LED. And then there's controls in here for radio, and there's also the controls for this screen in through here. So it's giving you things like fueling information, it's giving you information about how economical you're driving, things like where the energy is coming from and going to, and then after that it's going to give you information about your trips. You know, things like speed alarms and current speed zones and stuff like that, telling you if you want to take a rest break, which is the coffee sign, safety belts on or off. Audio and Bluetooth information is in through there as well. And then there's paddles here on either side, so they're going to increase or decrease the level of regenerative braking for the battery. So that's where we're trying to drag some extra power to recharge the battery. You don't have to do it, you can use the paddles here. It's fun, it's nice to engage, but you don't have to do it. In terms of the seat that I'm in then, obviously it's height adjustable, so that means it goes upwards or downwards. I've got lumbar support for the low part of my back to harden up, and aren't they nice seats? Look at the material, and same in the back. I meant to say on the back as well, when you're looking at the, it looks much more, I suppose, high quality. Not that the last CRV wasn't, but it's just, these have nice styling in the seats, and that just does look quite upmarket these days. And then the steering wheel here is completely rake reach, so I can go in and out as well as up and down as well. And in terms of safety, there's loads of safety in the car. Anti-whiplash head restraints, so they come forward to reduce how far your head goes back in the event of an accident. I've got an airbag up here, I've got side impact protection bars, I've got an airbag in the side of the seat, I've got an airbag over here, same over on the passenger side as well, where you've got similar airbags in similar places and steel bars for side impact protection as well. Lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control. There is functions there that are going to watch if it looks like you are behaving erratically. It's going to warn you that you need to maybe take a break. So much safety in this car. Down in between the front seats then you got some storage with a 12-volt outlet, and if we go a little bit further back we got some drinks holders, and then we got a big pocket that we can open up, which also serves as the armrest, and you have things like USB connectors, HDMI if you want to play a video, and also a 12-volt outlet, and it's even got its own little light in through there as well, but it's handy for just hiding quite large objects. We see all the way the car already has 2 mirrors, which is dead handy, and in behind those mirrors there's actually an SOS function, which means if you have an accident it's actually going to be relayed to a call centre in Europe, and people are going to try and help you if you're in an emergency situation. The driver's seat we talked about already, but I forgot to say it has heated seats, which are really nice on leather as well, so there. And then after that there's also lumbar, so we can harden up the back part of the seat, and as you'd expect then a height adjuster as well that goes with that steering wheel we talked about already. It's just got that lovely support on either side. Anyway, there you have it. If you've managed to watch the whole video, I really appreciate you watching it. And if there's any information you want the car, call, text, WhatsApp 086 843 1945. This car is a 2-litre hybrid. This is what's called a lifestyle model. It's got some nice upgrades, which is unusual for lifestyle, which are side steps, privacy rear glass, and also beige leather, and the fact that it's heated as well. Anyway, if you want information on the car, or if you want information about trading in or finance or anything like that, please do give me a call 086 843 1945. And if you've been watching on YouTube and you think the video is useful, please do like and subscribe. And if I've missed anything or there's anything you want to know on these cars, let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, hopefully the video has been useful, hopefully the car is of interest, and thanks for taking time to watch. Anyway, there you have it. If you've managed to watch the whole video, I really appreciate you watching it. And if there's any information you want the car, call, text, WhatsApp 086 843 1945. This car is a 2-litre hybrid. This is what's called a lifestyle model. It's got some nice upgrades, which is unusual for lifestyle, which are side steps, privacy rear glass, and also beige leather, and the fact that it's heated as well. Anyway, if you want information on the car, or if you want information about trading in or finance or anything like that, please do give me a call 086 843 1945. And if you've been watching on YouTube and you think the video is useful, please do like and subscribe. And if I've missed anything or there's anything you want to know on these cars, let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, hopefully the video has been useful, hopefully the car is of interest, and thanks for taking time to watch.